Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful day today. I was thinking it's going to be raining, but it's lovely. And what a lovely way to start, right? Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's to everybody, to the loved ones, friends, little ones. I still remember getting chocolates for my daughter, but no longer, right? We don't want chocolates, but giving them love and hugs and kisses. I will start with the opening prayer. Sethu.
Hello, I am Sethu Somasundaram. Every function we are going to start prayer. The purpose of the prayer is, while coming we are thinking all the way, so many things running in our mind, to bring down to concentration, to proceed the function. So every time we are doing pujas or prayer. Today, the Om 3 times we have to tell Om. The third time, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, like that. Okay? Now start. Om. Okay, thank you.
So as you have seen today, we will have a lecture. Before that, we'll have meditation and yoga, a chair yoga by Smt Meera, and then Usha Ramaswamy is going to introduce her. Usha Ramaswamy needs no introduction. She's been the board of director here. She's been the human services chair and cultural. So many years of association of Smt Usha Ramaswamy.
Namaskaram everyone. Good morning. Again, happy Valentine's Day. It's my pleasure and honor to welcome actually my dear friend Meera Chari, whom I have personally known for over 40 years. But I also know of her and of her qualifications. So I'm here to introduce Meera to all of you. Meera Chari is not new to the temple. She's been an ardent devotee from day one. She's a very big devotee and a donor of our temple, but today she's coming here in a slightly different capacity. Meera Chari is president and founder of Integrative Healing, a non-profit organization based in California, established in 2019 to provide supportive care to all those impacted by cancer, patients, survivors, and caregivers. They are on their 8th year of service to the community, collaborating with large hospital groups to access the patient population. Prior to this work, Meera had a progressively successful career in corporate finance, including years of consulting in the areas of finance, information services, acquisitions, mergers, etc. She retired from her career in corporate finance and has turned to what she feels passionate about, an integrative approach to cancer treatment to help not only the broader community she lives in, but also create a worldwide network of supportive care programs for the cancer community. Meera believes deeply in the power of positive mind in the healing process, as well as mindful living to create a sense of harmony and well-being. She's been an active volunteer for the American Cancer Society for the Reach to Recovery program for many years. She has served on the board of many non-profit organizations, and she's a daily yoga practitioner and a certified yoga teacher with Yoga Alliance, and believes in the power of mindful yoga and meditation to transform one's health and one's life. I'm very, very happy to introduce Meera Chari to you. Let's give her a warm welcome. Check the link for that. Do you want to sit up there? Do you want to move the chair?
I'm okay. Initially, I'll just okay. Thank you all for giving me this opportunity to come and talk to you. A little bit about our work, about the importance of mindfulness in the pursuit of well-being, etc. I was requested to lead in with meditation, and it seems appropriate to start with that, and then we can do a little chair yoga, and then we'll go to the talk, and then we'll conclude with Q&A if you have any questions. Does that make sense? Is that okay? So, gentleman here started with Om Shanti, so it seems appropriate to think about Shanti. The aspect of peace, calm and peace, is something that all of us require. So how do we access that? It's a lot about self-reflection, taking a few moments to just sit quietly, and what we call meditation is simply going inward, taking our mind inward to get to a space where we are here in this present moment, finding our peace and joy. And when we illuminate and we reflect, we are in the past or in the future, that is when it is hard for us to find what our mind really tells us to go towards. And so with that brief introduction, I request all of you to sit comfortably, sit tall, aligning your spine, and soften your neck, and see if you can project your head towards the ceiling. Projecting your head, but not going back, but keeping your spine all the way to the head in alignment, in one line, as if somebody was pulling a string straight up over your head. So that is the easiest way to sit tall and find that posture. Patanjali in this Yoga Sutra starts with Stiram Sukham Asanam. The posture has to be comfortable for us to allow ourselves to go inward. So now place your hands on your laps, palms facing up. You can place it one on top of the other, like this. And so that way we are directing our arms inward, our body inward as well. And then gently close your eyes, bringing your upper eyelids to meet your lower. And then check in on your body. Notice how your body is today, sending kindness and love to parts of the body that are challenging you this morning. Allowing your body to settle. And then now check in on your mind. Allowing your thoughts to settle. Thoughts will come and they will try to distract you, but just allow them to pass as they come in. And then notice your emotions. See how you're feeling. Allow yourself to soften. Bringing your mind and body here to this present moment. Observing everything. Being aware of your body. Being aware of your thoughts. being aware of your emotions, but not really connecting with anything deeply. And that is awareness. Just being aware and not connecting. Allowing things to be just as they are. Oftentimes, the easiest way to connect to our mind and body is using our breath. The breath is the single most powerful energy source we have. So when our thoughts distract us, we can go back to our breath. So begin by observing your breath. Noticing how your breath is flowing in your body. Notice how your body expands as you breathe in. Notice how your body contracts as you exhale. Track your breath in all the way to the end. Track your breath out all the way to the end. Just allow your breath to settle. And as you keep your mind, your awareness tethered to your breath, you'll start noticing that your breath starts slowing down. So continue to breathe in, inhaling, see it within, and then exhale, dragging your breath all the way out till the end. Stay with your breath. Keeping your breath long and smooth, like the waves of the ocean. Every time a thought comes in, just tether your awareness back to your breath. Just go back to your breath. Resting in this awareness that we can tap into our breath to connect our mind with our body. Just resting in this awareness. Just breathing normally, naturally. Allowing everything to be just as it is. And every time a new thought comes in, just go back to your breath. Thoughts are simply like clouds in the sky. Let them pass. Go back to the sky, your pure awareness. as you sit in your awareness, you realize, and as you observe your thoughts, your body, as you observe your mind, you realize you're more than your thoughts. You're not your emotions, because you're observing your emotions. You're not even your mind, because you're observing your mind. You're much more than all of that. So allow a smile to come upon your lips. Finding that calm and peace in this present moment. Now gently guide your awareness to the space around you. Tapping into your sensations, become aware of the sounds in your space, the smells in your space. Now gently guide your hands to your heart center and vigorously rub your palms together. And keeping your eyes still closed, take your warm palms to cup your eyes. Allow your eyes to blink open behind your palms. And then release your hands, opening your eyes fully, allowing the light to filter through. Soften your face. Relax the back of your neck, your shoulders. Run your hands down your scalp, relaxing your head. And finally, bring your hands together, uniting the left hand with the right hand, the mind with the body. Namaste to you. Thank you. I hope that helped you relax a little bit. Yeah. Now we're going to do some chair yoga. Okay? So I'm going to try. Can you all see me if I sit here? Would that be okay? And I don't know, do I need a microphone over there?
Yeah.
Or am I loud enough?
Yeah, you are.
If I'm loud enough, I can manage without the microphone? Okay.
Hello? Hello? You want to do it? But it will be difficult for you to do it.
Yeah, to demonstrate. And
If you want, I can move this and you want
You
to
can
sit
move
on
the
it.
table for temporarily and then move it on.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, so everybody can see. That's it. Right.
I'm going to try and be as loud as I can. Okay, so we're going to do chair yoga. So we're sitting, and again, if possible, come a little bit forward. Don't go all the way to the back, because that will make it easier for you to sit tall. Okay? Wonderful. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is throw our shoulders back. Inhale, take your arms up, unite your palms. Exhale, bring your hands down to your heart center. Again, repeat. Inhale. You can call this like a seated sun healing visualization. So we're reaching for the sun and taking the energy of the sun to our heart. Again, repeat. Inhale. Take your arms up. Unite your palms. Exhale. Bring your hands down to your hands. Beautiful. Wonderful. Now, place your hands on your knees. And then we're going to move our torso forward. So I don't know if you're familiar with cow and cat in yoga. So in that, we arch our spine in cow, and then we contract, we bring everything down in the cat. So it's called cow and cat. But we usually do this on our hands and knees, so we're going to try that on the chair today. So inhale, move your chest forward, arch your spine, take your gaze up. Exhale, we're going to round off and bring our torso down. Okay, beautiful. Sit up again, inhale. We're going to arch our spine, take your chest forward, gaze up. Exhale, round and lower down. And as you exhale, the next time, release through your mouth, okay? So inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Beautiful. Come back up slowly. Okay, now place your hands on your knees and we're going to massage your digestive system. Okay, so we're going to come back down and start rolling our torso around like this. Okay, and as we roll, we have to add our breath to our movement. So we inhale to the back, exhale as you come forward. Inhale to the back, exhale as you come forward. Continue one more time. Inhale and exhale. And then now reverse the movement. You'll see that you're squishing your digestive system as you do this. It's a great way to massage it, activate all the lymph nodes in your stomach. There are thousands of lymph nodes in our stomach. And activating the lymphatic flow helps us with healing as well as boosting our energy flow. Okay, and then we come back to the center. So is that okay so far? Okay, great. So now bring your hands up, unite, interlace your fingers over your head, flip your hands up, and then just bend to the right. Beautiful. You guys are doing a great job. You can mirror me or you can go either direction, doesn't matter. And then the other side, come back to the center. Again, we're inhaling in the center, exhaling as you bend to the right. Come back to center, inhale, exhale. You can always release your breath through your mouth if it's easier. One more time. One round, come back. And then we do the other side. And we're back. Beautiful. Now release your hands. And your hands back down. Wonderful. Now bring your hands to the center. Interlace, clasp your hands, and then start rotating at the wrist. We're loosening up our wrist and then reverse in the opposite direction. So far, so good? Okay, now shake off your hands. Okay. Now bring your hands to the front and then take one arm back and then back. And then the other side, inhale. Exhale. Now bring your hands together and then inhale to the back. Exhale. Bring your hands together. The other side. Inhale. Exhale. Take your gaze along with your hand.
Make it gentle and smooth. Be aware of your body and don't overdo it. If something is bothering you, just keep it more gentle. Come back to the center. Beautiful. Now take your hands to the back of your head and gently twist one side and then back and then the other side. One more time. Beautiful. Now bring your hands back to the side. Take a pause. Let's go back to our sun visualization. Reach for the sun. Exhale down to your heart. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. I'm able to exhale longer when I open my mouth. So try that. Inhale. Exhale. Like that. Beautiful. Now gently twist to one side. Taking your namaste to one side and we hold. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then return. Beautiful. Now take your namaste to the other side and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale back. Again, we will repeat. Inhale. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale back to center. Now the other side. Inhale. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale back. Okay? Great job, you guys, so far. Okay, now we're going to take our hands up and then bring your hands back down. Now take your right hand, place it under the left thigh. Yeah. Now take your left arm up, take your gaze up, and then exhale, bring your hand back. Let's repeat that one more time. Inhale, take your gaze up, exhale back. Now the other side, take your left hand cross, take your right arm up. Now you're opening up a side body here. Exhale back down. And we're also activating all the lymph glands under our armpits. So that's also very good for the lymphatic flow. Exhale back. So far good? Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our right leg out. Okay? Are you able to do that? Yeah. How many of you are familiar with warrior? Warrior pose? Beautiful. Like many yoga practitioners here, I can see. Okay, so you take your right leg out, float your arms out. Yeah. Now take your gaze out to your right hand. Focus on that. Take a breath. Don't hold your breath. Beautiful. And then bring your hands back down. Alright? So this is the modified warrior. Okay? So if you want to do the warrior the way you do it standing but sitting, you can slide your left leg out. Okay? If you have the flexibility, do it. If not, you can keep your leg like this. So don't overdo it. Listen to your body. That's important. If you're able to do it, you can do this. And then float your hands out. Focus your attention to the middle finger. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Now bring your hands back down. Alright, does that work? Okay, can we do one more in this pose? Okay, so now take your arms out and then from here, flip the warrior. Take the hand out, facing up, and then reverse the warrior. Inhale and then exhale. Beautiful, you guys did it. Saw you. So one more time, reverse the warrior and then back. So far, so good? So those of you who are finding it hard to stretch the leg out, keep it here. And you can still do it. You're still getting some benefit, okay? So make sure you're observing, following what your body will allow you at this time. So we were here, right? So from here, rest your elbow here. I'm gonna go back to my old pose. And then we're bending the opposite direction. Okay, this is called the sideways, side angle pose. Yeah. And then come back. Exhale, bring your hand back. How did that work? Okay, can we try that on the other side? Okay, now the leg that is on this side, now you bring that back. Now, this leg is gonna go out, right? Yeah, so for people who want to modify that pose, they're gonna sit like this. So people who want to do the full warrior, they're gonna extend this leg out. And the easiest way is scoot forward. You may be able to do it easier if you go to a little bit to the edge of the chair, okay? So remember, all of you don't have to do this. Some of you can keep it like this, yeah? It's perfectly fine. No, we're not competing with each other. Okay, now float your arms, shoulder height, gaze, focus on the middle finger. Take a breath. Beautiful. And then bring your hands back down. Now we're going to take our hands up and then reverse the warrior. Take your hands up. Inhale. Exhale. Again, repeat. Inhale. Exhale. Now we open this side, right? Now we're going to place this hand down and then take the other arm up. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Now gently come back to sitting. Bring your legs slowly back to the original position. Once again, throw your shoulders back. Inhale. Let's do a little reset. Reach for the sun. Let the energy come down to your heart. Okay, now we're going to do something called goddess pose. So we were here with one leg, right? Now we put both legs out, okay? And feet face the corners, okay? So from here, release your hand up, tuck your belly button in, engage your core, push your chest forward, take your gaze straight out in front of you. Take a deep breath, inhale, and exhale here. This is our goddess. Tap into the goddess in each of us. Find that strength, that resilience that resides in every one of us. Beautiful. And then take your hands up, unite your palms, bring your hands back down. Beautiful. Now place your hands on your thighs. Gently lift up your heels. And then lower. 3 times. Inhale. And as you exhale, release through your mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Now bring your hands up. Take your gaze straight out ahead. And then take your arms up. And then exhale, bring your hands back. Great job. Lovely. I love the way you guys did it. Okay, we're going to come back to sitting. Yeah. And then we're going to throw our shoulders back once more. Inhale, take your hands up. Unite your palms. Exhale, bring your hands down to your heart center. Okay, now take your fingers, bring them together. Place them on your shoulder and then start rotating. Relax your shoulders now. reverse. And then shake off your hands. Take your right arm across, bring your left elbow up to support your right arm. Give yourself a nice stretch. Stretching is really important after moving muscles that we haven't moved for a while. And then bring your hand back down. Now the other side. Now shake off your hands. Now a couple more exercises and we'll be done. Now bring your right leg up and see if you can hold on to it. Make sure your left leg is firmly placed in the ground. Make sure you're stable when you do this, okay? So are you able to do this? Yeah? And then now start rotating at the ankle. And then reverse. And then bring the foot down. Now bring the other leg up, hugging your knee to your chest, and then start rotating. And then reverse. Beautiful. And then bring that leg back down. Once again, let's throw our shoulders back. Go back to our inhalation and then exhale. Now, how many of you are able to stand and do a forward fold? Are you able to do that? Those of you who cannot stand can just sit and do a forward fold, okay? So I'm going to demonstrate both ways. For sitting, you just take your hands up and just gently come down like this, okay? And if you can, you don't have to go as far as you can. And for those of you who can stand, make sure your feet are firmly planted into the ground. Take your arms up, reach for the sun, and then slowly fold forward. And you can land your hands here, here, anywhere. And then let your head go down as well. Quality of surrender has to come to this pose. Surrendering your body down towards the earth. And then clasp your elbows and then gently sway side to side. This is a restorative pose. Keep your knees soft as you do this. And then slowly bend your knees and slowly come back up. And then release your arms back down. Okay, now come back to sitting. And we're going to conclude with 3 of the sun visualization exercise with the sound of 3 syllables. Okay, we started with Om, but what does Om break down into? The primordial sound of Om is Ah, Oo, and So with each exhalation, we're going to release the 3 sounds. So we're going to start with Ah, then we go to Oo, and then we go to Okay? So let's do that. Inhale, take your hands up, unite your palms. Okay, again, repeat. Now we're going to do Oo. Inhale. Oo. The last time we release the sound of Inhale. And now let's conclude with Om. Okay. Inhale. Namaste to all of you. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I now realize when you said keep enough of distance, we didn't need 4, we needed only 2. So people could have stretched more.
Yes, yeah. That's okay. You guys did a great job organizing. Sorry, that was good.
Oh, I shouldn't.
Oh, I see that note there. That was me, not you.
Okay. Please have one.
Don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I have enough light here.
Can I bring it
Keeps
more
falling, yeah?
this side?
Oh, I did that again. Okay. Yeah? Okay. It's not gonna help, really. I'm okay. Now I will be careful. Namaste again, everyone. So now we're going to go into this the talk segment of the event today. And we're going to talk about in pursuit of well-being. And we're going to go deeper into the very meaning of the word well-being. But before we go there, I wanted to talk to you briefly about our organization. I'm the president of an organization called Integrative Healing. And Usha briefly mentioned that, and I always try to start with this so that people are aware of what we're doing, so that you can spread the word as well. So our goal is to ensure support to address the emotional well-being of patients right at the outset. That's an integrative approach to add layers of healing to what patients already get at the hospitals. So we encourage patients to participate in their health and healing, and we also empower patients with practical tools to boost their innate ability to heal. Every one of us has that ability to heal, and we believe in tapping into our own innate powers to add layers of healing to what we receive at the hospitals, as I mentioned earlier.
So that's the first thing I wanted to say, and then I wanted to talk about health itself. And everybody probably here is aware of this definition of health that is stated in the World Health Organization site. And there in itself, it's very clear that health is not simply limited to one's physicality. How we feel physically, mentally, socially, all of those pieces are really important to bring a holistic approach to health and wellness. And simply the absence of disease doesn't make one well. That's the absence of infirmity doesn't make one well. But when we bring all these different elements of tapping into our mind, as well as our social well-being, connecting here like all of you do, this is very important. So that takes us on to the next slide, which is about healing and well-being. We talked briefly about how healing has to be holistic in nature, right? How the mind, the body, they're all connected, and how we feel emotionally also plays an important role in our health. So when we say we are well, that is the opposite of ill, right? Opposite of illness is wellness. So when we say we are practicing wellness, that simply limits to us to the physical aspect of our being. So when we say we're well, yeah, physically I'm well. But what is well-being? Well-being is bringing all those elements together. You know, nurturing our spirit, nurturing our body, nurturing our mind, nurturing our whole self. So that holistic approach leads us to the path of well-being. So healing, when we talk about etymology of the word healing, it comes from the word heilen, a German word. And the association there is that heilen means whole or wholeness. So what we are trying to talk today about is how do we get that sense of wholeness, that well-being that we all seek. Yes, the ability to heal is innate, because what happened 150 years ago before allopathy didn't exist, right? People found a way to heal themselves, okay? And of course, you know, as in this community, we are all very aware of yoga and mindfulness and meditation, and all of those play a role in people becoming well as well. And they basically were able to tap into their innate ability to heal by practicing many of those as well. So we're going to find out how can we as individuals be active players in our own health and healing. And that's what we're going to talk about more, okay? The number one thing that I want to emphasize is our superpower, the mind. Now, the power of the mind as an integral part of one's healing and well-being, this has been long understood in the Eastern sciences, you know, especially in India. People have been aware of that. But there is also now a current shift in modern Western medicine. And people are becoming more and more aware of the role of mindfulness in one's health and healing. And you might noticed that in the Bay Area itself, you know, hospitals have renamed to health organizations. So what used to be El Camino Hospital is now El Camino Health. What is Sutter Hospital is now Sutter Health Group. And Stanford Hospital is Stanford Healthcare. So all of these you know, institutions here in the Bay Area and around the country have started recognizing the importance of integrating one's health with other integrative therapies like yoga, mindfulness, meditation, tai chi, qigong, sound therapy, music therapy, art therapy. There are so many that are now being integrated, and integrative medicine departments have become, quite common. And as far as mindfulness itself, that whole concept of mindfulness was brought here and researched extensively at Stanford 35 years ago by Dr. Spiegel. And now it's become an everyday word. That everybody's become aware of it. And there is an app called Calm that a lot of people have on their phones and so forth. So tapping into the superpower, our mind, is really, really important. And it's something that we need to remind ourselves of, because there are very many challenges that exist in that path. Because there are hindrances such as the first one, the monkey mind. So we talked about mindfulness, but how do you manage the mind with your own mind, right? That is the challenge. Everyone has heard about the monkey mind, how the mind keeps jumping from the past to the future, and it's always hard to bring it here to this present moment. And because in this present moment, we can all find joy, we can all find happiness, we can all feel well as well. But bringing it here is always a challenge. We're always like, what if I had done this? Maybe I should have done that. And so when we start a storyline with those words, what if, maybe I should have, what does that mean to you? It simply means you have regret, you have remorse. And those things don't help us to heal, to get well. So coming back here, and then maybe I should do this is something that we're telling us about the future as well. So again, tethering our mind to come back to this present moment. That's always a challenge, right? So keep that in your thoughts. We'll continue to talk about more things. The next thing that comes up is stress, right? This is another big hindrance. Managing stress is a challenge because stress comes in so many forms, and it's really become part of our daily life. And stress, unfortunately, needs to be managed by us, by every one of us. And when we say we feel stressed, where does it start? Anybody? Where does this?
It starts for me in my head.
Yeah, it always starts with the mind, right? Bingo, you said it. So again, we go back to the mind and body connection. So triggering the mind and body connection is really key in every one of these challenges that we face. So the other important thing is perception. This is key to managing life's experiences. So how we perceive any given situation can make a big difference in how we manage that situation, whether it's a challenge, mental challenge, emotional challenge, or a physical challenge. How we perceive it can make a big difference on how we emerge from it and how we go on in our pursuit of wellness and well-being. So how we perceive is really very key in managing stress as well. The other thing is attitude. According to Dr. Swindoll, I love quoting, the only thing we can control is our attitude. So when I say that, you remember, not too long ago, we had the COVID days, and so much was out of control. The whole world came to a topsy-turvy situation. Businesses had to be managed, and everything became a challenge. Daily existence was, questioned again. But the only thing we could control even during that time was our attitude. How we changed our perception of the situation. Say, hey, now I can work from home, right? Bingo. I can still go for a walk, and connect with nature. So, things that we tell ourselves, positive self-talk, can make a big difference in how we manage our perception. And a lot of it, the underlying factor there is our own attitude, tapping into thinking positively. So more on that. Any thoughts or any questions on that so far? Anything to add there?
Yeah, everybody will have positive and negative sides in their attitudes, right?
Yes.
What you bring up
Exactly.
is your attitude, actually. So you
Exactly.
are negative of the things or positive of the things, it is your attitude.
Yes, yes, true. And negative thoughts will come. We are human. We have to acknowledge that those at that time when the negative thought comes, we need to be kind to ourselves and say, yes, I'm feeling this way, but I can start thinking of it in a different way, looking at things through a different lens. Thank you for bringing that up. So then it goes to the power of the positive mind. Every cell in our body is interconnected and they impact each other. And you notice that, right? How we think, in our mind impacts our body, and how we feel in our body any given day, impacts our mind. When you feel physically, what's that happening? When we feel physically low one day, you feel also a little blah that day, right? But if you, again, how we connect the mind and the body, it can become a challenge, right? And bringing in that positive thought can influence your body to heal. Can we use our own bodies to influence the mind? And can we influence the mind? Can we influence the body with the mind? So those are the questions. And there's a circular relationship between the mind and the body. So for instance, think about when you feel angry. What happens to your body? Your ears are red, you're breathing hard, right? All of these things happen and you don't even know that it's happening. You feel fearful and immediately you have a reaction in your stomach, right? You feel that gut punch, they call it. So every thought you have can have a biochemical effect on your body as well. And when we have a negative thought, it can impact our body in a similar fashion, and certain chemicals are released in our body. Cortisol levels can spike up, and then again it forms a loop, right? So it's important we be aware of the fact that every thought can trigger a biochemical effect in our body, and see how we can harness the mind back in the right direction so our body can calm down as well. So we come across people who are always optimistic, and we're like, how come this person is always cheerful, right? Sometimes it can be annoying, but we also admire those people because they bring positive energy around us, right? When you're around a positive person, you're happy, you're positive, and you feel like, okay, I can go do things now. I'm feeling better already physically and mentally. So when we start practicing that positivity, it can become pervasive. So when you see somebody who's optimistic always or positive, what is your thought? Instead of asking the question, perhaps, why are these people always optimistic when things are not so great? The question to ask really is, how can I be like that too, right? And
you say that one should be always positive, but once because
can you repeat, please?
You advise us that you should be always positive, but unless you have a negative thoughts, how can you have a risk management attitude, which is also necessary for the success in managing the things. So what I mean to say, there has to be a positive and negative things. Both have to be thought, but one can be positive after doing a risk management of a negative thought.
It's a good point you bring.
Yes.
Yeah, there is always this, yeah.
Because
But a plus, you will recognize a plus only after a minus happens, is what you're saying, right? Something negative.
either happens or it doesn't happen. If you perceive that if this is a negative thought, then you become a cautious not to have the negative things in your life.
Correct,
So
that's
because
true.
some people always think, of, they want to do a sort of a management, like risk management. Because negative things should not come in your life. And if you have a risk management thoughts, then you will think negative things, it can happen like this.
In
Then
the
it won't
future.
happen to, the negative thing doesn't happen to you. And people consider those person as a, a negative, you say he is not a positive man, he always thinks negative.
Yeah.
Because there are different kind of persons.
True. But it's really, we will be doing everybody a disservice if we label anybody this way or that way, right? So you brought a good point, right? As human beings, we are all likely, the reason we are even talking about harnessing the positive aspect of thinking is because as human beings, we do have negative thoughts. Negative thoughts do come up. And because we are human, we cannot always be perfect. We are not God, right? So that is once we start practicing how to redirect the mind in a different direction, then it becomes a habit. It becomes a habit-forming thing. And we are dwelling in the positive zone predominant amount of time. And so that, again, leads us to the path of well-being. So,
let me, I think what I hear him saying is, we sometimes have to manage the challenges by thinking about ways to negate the negative aspect. So in that process, you do bring up the negative thoughts in your mind. But there is another way of doing that, I think. If you don't have to anticipate the negativity in order to manage it. You can actually be positive and not have the negativity around. It's just a fine balance between either being positive all the time or being prepared for the negative challenges. I think you can do it positively too.
Right. So when you brought up about risk management. That's because your mind is going to the future, and you're thinking about what is going to happen. Something bad could happen, and so I'm going to do something differently now to offset that. But once we start cultivating the positive mind, your mind is already prepared to deal with the negative situation if and when it comes up.
Exactly.
And the whole idea is that when we start practicing this positivity, we're also learning to be here in this present moment. This present moment is inevitable. And this is the moment where we can find the joy and happiness. And so instead of being in the past or in the future, our goal, especially with meditation, is to redirect the mind here to the now. And that really helps us as well. Make sense so far? Okay. So how can we direct our mind towards the positive thinking? Let's explore that. Okay. So turning on the happy switch. This is something, it's not like literally turning on a switch, but rewiring the brain, changing the trajectory of our thinking. Using the mind to adjust the mind, like I said. I want to give you a little example here. So one of my students was mentioning that she was going through cancer, and in one of the classes she mentioned that she was feeling very guilty. I said, why are you feeling guilty? It's not your fault that you got cancer. She said, I'm feeling extremely guilty because I'm subjecting all those around me to suffering. And this is not fair that they're all suffering because of me. I said, anybody in particular? She said, oh, I'm feeling very guilty about my spouse. He's very young, and it's not fair to him. And so I said, so what did you do? And she said, I told him I'm very sorry. And then he said, and what did he say? And he said, oh, I'm sorry too. I'm sorry that you're feeling sorry. So then what was the situation? So the situation was that both of them felt bad. So she said she was sorry. Was there something she could do about the guilt that would serve her in her journey? No. Because she already had cancer, she had to go through it, she had to emerge from that experience. But the guilt was really not serving her. So I said, how about if you turn around and say thank you to him? Do you feel so good that he's in your life right now to support you, right? And just say thank you. Thank you so much for serving me. Thank you so much for being here when I'm going through this experience. And she said, I'm going to try that. So she went and tried that, and she came back and she said, thank you so much, because that really helped me. Because she went and said thank you to her husband, and he turned around and said, I'm so happy that I'm of service to you. So she opened her heart in gratitude. She got a response that was also a grateful response. So that turned out from one thought of guilt, converting that into a grateful thought, right? So you can convert every negative thought. I'm sorry, I don't know what's happening.
Nothing. It keeps going back to sleep mode if nothing is happening.
Oh, I have to keep touching it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So essentially, basically adjusting the mind, using the mind, right? So turning every negative thought into something positive can be really helpful. So in this particular case, now the wife felt like she was getting so much, right? By saying thank you, she is expressing her gratitude, and she was feeling, her heart was filling with this joy that she was deserving, she was receiving, she was deserving of what she was getting. And the husband also was glowing that he was of service to his wife, and that he was a good human being, doing the right thing at the right time. So it can create this positive loop when we take a simple negative thought and convert it into a positive energy. That kind of address some of the points that you brought up about how do we convert a negative thought, right? So then going on to neuroscience and happiness. So neuroscience supports the aspect of mindfulness and quantum healing. Many of you would have read this book on quantum healing, and how happiness activates certain brain areas like the amygdala, front cortex, etc. And again, there's a biochemical effect. When we practice this kind of positive thinking, and dopamine, serotonin, these are all important chemicals that bring balance in your body and boost your positive energy as well. And then there's this thing called neuroplasticity, and neuroplasticity is basically rewiring your brain, creating new neuronal pathways. And that happens with this practice of thinking positively, of thinking, in a way that you are seizing the right perception of any given situation, looking at things through a different lens. Even a negative experience can be considered an experience rather than a suffering. So when you're ill, you could say, hey, I'm going through this experience that I'm going to learn from and grow, whereas I'm always suffering, and this is my life. This is the end. I'm never going to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So instead of thinking along those lines, if we start thinking of everything that comes our path as a challenge, as an experience to learn and grow from, then we start redirecting the mind in that direction. And then it becomes a habit, and that's where neuroplasticity plays. And the rewiring of the neuronal connections that happen in your brain can be so powerful and lead you on to the right path. Any thoughts, any questions here? Okay.
So is it like neuroplasticity means, can you explain a little bit more on the word itself?
Well, I'm not a doctor, but what I've understood is that there are neuronal connections that your brain makes.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're constantly in a path, in a certain mode of thinking, right? So the neuronal connections that your brain makes are on a certain path. He was talking about negative thinking, right? So you keep having a negative thought, that neuronal connection reinforces itself, and it continues along that same path. But when you start practicing and start shifting your thinking in a different direction, then new neuronal connections can be made. So it's like nature versus nurture, right? So 30% of many of our genetic predispositions and all those things that we talk about comes from our genes, our heredity, and all that. But 70% comes from nurture. How we, our experience can be reshaped, can be transformed by how we think. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the practices. I want to be on time and give a few minutes for Q&A as well. So practices to promote well-being. So we said, okay, so we talked generally about the different things that are hindrances. We talked about how we can tap into our superpower, the mind. Now, what can we practically do? That's what we're going to talk about, right? So number one, focusing on the positive things in your life. And I always like to talk about this because that is the underlying basis of many of our programs. So I keep going back to this. Again, it becomes a habit forming thing. So when you wake up first thing in the morning, you can think of something positive that is happening in your life, right? And I was mentioning this in my last class, last talk a week ago, and a person jumped up and said, "Hey, I got up. I woke up this morning." And I said, "That's a positive thought. Absolutely.
I'm alive today.
I'm alive, right?" So it's simple. Actually, when you start practicing it, it's just every day a new thought will come, right? Oh, I'm feeling good. The sun is out. So many different things. The English always like to talk about the weather, but there are so many different things that you can think of once you get into the habit of waking up with a positive thought. You can also write about it. We can expand on that concept in many ways. So what happens is when you wake up with that positive thought, your day is better. Then you develop that habit every day, then you can do that. It becomes a week of positive thinking. Then it becomes a month. It continues and becomes a habit-forming thing. So it's a simple thing to do. Then the second thing is walking in nature or doing something that involves nature, gardening, or just sitting out under a tree, meditating, going to the beach. We always feel so relaxed when we go to the beach. Why is that? It is the influence around us, the space around us. All of those create harmony and a sense of relaxed state in our mind and body. So something that I always encourage everybody to do on a daily basis. Then yoga and exercise. Now, again, this yoga a lot of research has been done on yoga, and many of you seem to already be practicing yoga, which is wonderful. Actually, I attended the conference in Harvard on the impact of yoga and Ayurveda on health and healing. And people from around the world, not just Indians, people from around the world came and presented all kinds of research studies and papers and data and statistics on how impactful yoga and exercise can be. Specifically, this particular conference that I attended was on yoga and Ayurveda. So it's something that is really important, and it's also our heritage. So, any form of yoga, yoga has 8 limbs. You don't always have to do a physical, headstand or a sarvangasana to do yoga. You can do pranayama, you can do chair yoga, anything to recreate the connection between the mind and the body. The very word yoga comes from the word, Sanskrit word, yuj, to unite the mind with the body. So again, this is so powerful in so many ways, and especially integrating our aspects of wellness with the holistic approach when we do yoga and practice good nutrition. So going on to breath work, this is a well, I already said the mind is our #1 superpower, but then the breath work, pranayama, is the #1 energy source that we've all been gifted with. Actually, when you look at the 8 limbs of yoga, pranayama is a very important part of the 8 limbs, as Patanjali states. And breath we practiced briefly during our meditation, and I wanted to bring that because it shifts your mind from the past or the future and brings you to the present moment and find the joy in this present moment, and that's really very powerful. It not only improves your lung power, and so physically it serves you so well, but also along the way you can practice so many different types of breathing to manage different emotions. In one of our classes that we teach called Healing from Within, we practice different types of breathing to manage different emotions. The one thing that we can practice today, which is very easy and powerful, perhaps a small break from talking, is to practice something called resonance frequency breathing. And in resonance frequency breathing is a very simple one where you can shift from the sympathetic state to the parasympathetic state. And what does it mean? Sympathetic is when your body triggers the fight or flight response. When you're fearful, when you're anxious, when you're angry, in any of those states, you're in a sympathetic state, which is your autonomic nervous system is not happy. So you want to shift to a parasympathetic nervous system, and that is when you bring in the rest and digest response that allows us to heal, to shift to a state of wellness and well-being. So, yeah, I would love some. Okay, thank you. So to practice breathing, this resonance frequency breathing, again, find a comfortable seated position, sit tall, allow your spine to be elongated. And once again, bring your hands to your laps, palms facing up. And you may close your eyes so you can concentrate. So once you're settled, we can start breathing. So in this breathing practice, we're going to inhale to 4, exhale to 5 or 6. So we're going to extend the exhale, okay? So first, observe your breath. Track your breath in to the end of the inhale. Track your breath out to the end of the exhale. Just allow your breath to slow down gently, automatically. As you start observing, the breath will automatically slow down. Okay, now I'm going to count and you can follow me. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue like this, counting in your own mind, breathing in to 4, breathe out to 5, or if you're able to, you can breathe out to 6 even. So let's do 5 more rounds of that, breathing in to 4, out to 5 or 6. After 5 rounds, come back to normal breathing. Just observe your body. Observe your mind. See if you were able to induce in some sense of calm and collectedness. How did that go? Okay, good. So it's a simple practice. You can do it anywhere, anytime, right?
So, I have a
You had a
question.
question, sir?
So you said breathing period as well as breathing out period. But in yoga, there is something once you breathe in, you have to stay longer and then you have to breathe out. In between.
No,
breathing
okay.
in and
There are
breathing
many,
out.
many breathing practices.
Okay.
Okay, many breathing practices. Okay. One of them that you mentioned is where we breathe in, we hold, okay, and then we breathe out. That is called retention, okay. And that is, I mean, I can demonstrate many practices today, but today I'm trying to keep it simple to the one that is extension of exhale, which is called frequency resonance breathing, which is really helpful to shift quickly to the parasympathetic nervous system, to bring in that rest and digest response that we talked about, which then allows you to calm down, start, trigger the healing process. But like I mentioned, there are so many, and even we have a breathwork class every Tuesday that we offer, and we practice so many different forms in that class. So then I want to talk about mindfulness meditation. We talked about this, we practice meditation. And so again, when we become aware, when we are able to not attach ourselves to any thoughts, anything that's happening in our lives. There's something called raga and dvesha in yoga. Attachment is raga, dvesha is aversion. So when we are able to stay in a state of non-attachment to anything or anybody, or non-aversion to anything or anybody, then we are able to fully go into the state of mindfulness. But simply being aware of our thoughts is the first step. You become aware of your thoughts, become aware of who we are, what we need comes up when we start meditating. And that also guides us towards the path of what are the next steps I need to take. Okay, this is where I am, and this is where I need to go. So all of these things are really powerful that comes up when we practice meditation regularly. What else? Did I miss one slide? I didn't. I think I'm missing a slide here. How did that happen? Yeah, I'm missing a slide, but I can talk about it. Okay. Anyway, going on to what else can we do? You know, emotional centering. We talked about how it is important to center ourselves when challenges come up. Consider everything as an experience. Also helps us with the emotional centering and allows us to practice that cognitive reframing that we talked about. Reframing of any given situation, looking at things through a different lens. So we talked about also how our experiences transform us, but we can also transform our experiences with our mind. So very important to continue to practice that cognitive reframing. Social connections, how we connect with people becomes a very important part of our human existence, right? That was the one challenge we had during COVID. But now we've all emerged, and I know, and all of you are coming here together, what you're all doing, coming here, serving at the temple, attending events at the temple, connecting with people of similar wavelength, similar interests, all of those really boost our sense of well-being. So important to practice that regularly. Good health comes also from good nutrition, good sleep. So those are always important things to mention in our practice and our pursuit of well-being. So I think that kind of sums up the things that I wanted to say. So I wanted to kind of quickly conclude with an affirmation. This is called self-kindness metta meditation in Buddhist practice. But basically it's like setting the intention on what we want, you know, puts the thought in our head that this is where we want to head, right? So let's close our eyes for a moment and bring our hands together. And please repeat after me. May I be safe. May I be healthy. May I be happy. May I live with ease of spirit. May I live with ease of spirit. Now let's extend that to the universe and let's repeat. May all beings be safe. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be happy. May all beings live with ease of spirit. So it really comes down to Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. That's what we're trying to say. Oh Shanti, thank you all so much. Appreciate this opportunity. Come and talk to you. Thank you.
Question and answers.
Turn on the lights. We have a few minutes for question and answers.
Yeah. So now let's turn the light on. And so do you have any other questions on what we talked about, or did we cover everything?
So
You guys getting hungry?
No,
we
no,
talked
not
about some
yet.
classes. We talked about some classes.
Let's.
First of all, thank you for the all the knowledge you shared with us. I think you talked about these classes. Do you do them from some website or some?
We offer all our classes on Zoom, and our classes are free to all of those impacted by cancer. When we say all of those impacted by cancer, it could be a patient, a survivor, or a caregiver. So if you have had anybody in your family who's been impacted and you're a caregiver, there's still a lot of negativity that resides within us. So it's just really helpful to come to these classes. So our focus, as I said earlier, has been to serve the cancer community. I think eventually we'll expand out to others, but this has been our focus. Yeah. And our website is integrativehealing.care, www.integrativehealing.care, one word, integrative healing. And please tell your friends, if anybody you know or your neighbors who are impacted by cancer, please send them in our direction, and we provide everything free. We don't charge for any of the classes. And we usually work with hospitals or hospital groups sometimes, but now we are also doing stuff at YMCA. We're doing work with ICC, JCC, etc.
Couple of thoughts came to my mind. One is, in office, one of my friends was telling, she's of the younger generation, much younger than me. And she was saying, when I tell her that I go to temple, I have friends, I have, belongingness to the community beyond home and everything. And she was saying, the younger generation sometimes misses that, right? And when you said the social connection, she said that is not there in their generation. I think especially after COVID, they got so used to being amongst themselves that they don't want to do that. And another one was connecting with nature. I think we're so used to going to gym, people just want to be, just inside the house. A couple of days, I see the sun go out, but yesterday I made sure that I go for a 20-minute walk. That helps me. Right. And I think it's very, very important that we motivate ourselves to go out and not just be sitting and walking inside. So, thank you for those notes.
Yeah. It is a challenge for children, especially with this, all the social media and phones and computers, and people are always engaging through that rather than in person, like we are all meeting and talking. But
So one thought I had, Meera, was you talked about the caregiving aspect, right? I'm glad you're doing this in the cancer space. I would request you to actually go broader this time. In our Indian community, we are an aging population, so we are living in a society where we have the aged ones, and then we have the next generation. So caregiving to the aged is become a key challenge, a key requirement. So I would request your organization to start thinking about that as the next phase.
Okay, we will.
I think that's very important. Thank you.
Yeah, regarding the social connections that you mentioned, I think the younger generations are more involved in social media and through WhatsApp and other things, more involved than physically being close and being in a social connection. Just to give an example, in the same home, the person who is in the upstairs will not come down and talk to another person in the downstairs, just texting.
Yes.
Okay, or call. This was never heard of in older days. So this is another trend which I think we should discourage and try to encourage people coming together and be socially involved. Number one. Number two, regarding neuroplasticity that you mentioned, in layman's term, I think you already mentioned it's about neurons learning or having more connections. That leads to learning new things. So in layman terms, neuroplasticity is ability of the mind or brain to adapt to new things, learn new things, irrespective of your age. So chronologically, you can be 50 or 60, but mentally, you can still have the ability to learn as a middle-aged person or 20s and 30s. That happens because of neuroplasticity. By learning new skills and new skills and a new language or a new game, things like that, is what the neuroscientists have. I saw some programs in the television. That's where I'm.
Yes, you're right. Right.
So learning the new things at
Learning new
any age,
things.
and that also makes you feel younger.
Absolutely,
Right?
absolutely.
So even though we are in, say, for example, 40s and 50s, when you meet your high school or middle school classmates, you feel mentally you go back to that age, all of them. Okay.
Yeah.
So you feel much younger in being association with youngsters.
Yeah.
So that's how mentally we need to develop that kind of a capability to deal in the different ages. That's what neuroplasticity really is.
Thank you for bringing that up. You are absolutely right. And also learning new things does make us feel energized, and gives us that boost that we need from the everyday existence.
Challenge yourself every day. Kind of.
Yeah,
do
challenging
something new.
ourselves.
Something exciting.
Any other questions? Any other comments? I know we'll all have lunch together and we can still connect with Meera Chari, and I think it was a wonderful eye-opening speech and talk, as well as the meditation. You really stretched us. So that's why I said 4 was not, I should have just put 2. Then everybody could have stretched everybody. We put 5. Now I realize when you said 2, that is what would have, the meditation also helped a lot, trying to be within ourselves. Thank you so much. We have Bhaskar Swaminathan, the Human Services Chair, and Sudha Surapaneni. She's the President of HCCC. As I've always said, without HCCC support, this connection that we have for the senior meeting, every month we meet, second Saturday, and everything is taken care. The hall, the setting up of chairs, having the setup of mic, and of course getting the projector, everything, this is because, and of course the food and the forum to be here in a safe environment is very, very important. So I think we have to thank the HCCC management every time we are here for giving this perfect setting for us to meet.
Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you so much, Meera Chari. Although I couldn't able to attend, but we are well connected and worked on the WhatsApp group and making sure. Thank you for Usha ji initiating this program. I hope that everything met to your requirement. Sorry, I couldn't able to attend the morning.
No, that's okay. It was wonderful. I mean, we had a very attentive audience and very engaged audience.
Very good. I think this group is really good. They all come every single program, and lot of human service senior programs are very informative, and it's helpful for everyone.
And also fun.
Yeah, we may ensure that is also part of it.
Sing and dance and all.
Everything there, you name it, you got it, and all this definitely. And next one, as we talk about, coming up, is also the safety, which is lot of things going around us. We want to ensure that people coming here also safe, and when they leave also how to be. So please stay tuned for more updates on that. We are looking to have some police officer coming and giving an update about the recent incident, how you all can be protected when you step out also. Thank you, and all, as Padmaja mentioned, without management support, I know nothing happens. I thank you for President and Chairman of the organization. They always been supporting human service. Thank you once again.
We are all very glad for your time and support for this program. And as Bhaskarji was mentioning, Ushaji came out with this program. She was in Code a couple of years ago. We saw the ropes, and I am in board right now. But all in all, this program is run by all the management members, past and present. We are all volunteers. And thank you so much for your time, for spending us.
Thank you for this opportunity to come and talk.
I think we need to do more of these so that all are informed and we are all active. We are getting there. It's not pretty far at all. Thank you, Ushaji, one more time. Thank you, Padmajaji and Sumanji and Bhaskarji for being there. And I wanted to alert you all who are local to Livermore. There were a couple of unforeseen incidents that are happening. Please be very safe. Don't walk on the streets or sidewalks. If you want to come and do anything, do it in the premises, and our premises is big enough. You can have one parikrama is like 3 parikramas or 4 parikramas is equal to 1 mile or something. Please calculate that and do that. And I want all of you to be safe and sound before we get to the talk on safety in the near future. It happened even yesterday, so it was like pretty concerning. Thank you so much all for coming, and hope you have the good prasadam, and then we can leave. Thank you.
Just to mention that stay away from anyone inquiring anything from the car. Stay away and talk. Don't get any closer while. That's okay.
Request Sudha Garu and Usha Garu to please can you come this side? Meera, please come this side. Go ahead and honor. Thank you very much, Meera. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to be with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you once again.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Smile.
I'm very glad Ushaji came after travel.
I know, she just came 2 days
Yeah.
So
We
let's
are meeting every day.
closing prayer before we end the meeting. And watch out for the upcoming. We'll have a meeting in March. We're just going through what we would like to do. And if you have any suggestions, please, you can reach out to me, Sudha, Sumanji, or even Bhaskar, anybody, in order to get us some ideas. Okay?
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Thank you very much, and happy Valentine's Day. I want to end with one note. Gopal Krishna ji told me what he wished me, and that's when we remembered, right? And he said, "What did you do?" He said, I asked him, "What did you do?" He said, "I gave red flowers, roses to Sudhaji," and he's been doing that for 50 years, I believe. So that's wonderful. It's good to hear positive thoughts, right? Thank you, everyone. Let's have lunch and